Hey everyone, this is Donald from Coherent. Today we want to talk about how to implement a webhook which talks to a downstream application, then trigger off a promotional process inside of GitHub Action. One of the webhooks options for user action is labeled as deployment request, and we will be using that to fire off our CI/CD promotional process. For today's demo, there's going to be three parts. One is setting up the Coherent webhook. Two is to have that webhook trigger in applications that have set up on my computer. Three is that application is going to trigger off the GitHub Actions that is ultimately handling the CI/CD endpoints, which then fired off the promotional process inside of Coherent. First, we want to take a look at the downstream applications that we have. So this is a simple application that mimics a downstream system. It essentially let us know any webhooks that would hit the platform. What we need from here is the forwarding URL right here, which is essentially what we need to set up our webhooks on Coherent. Now inside of tenant configuration, let's go ahead and set up the webhook right here. I've already created a webhook a little bit earlier, so what we're going to do right now is update the particular URL with the URL that was created by our downstream system. We're going to hit save on the bottom to update our settings on our webhook. Let's head over to deployment requests. Let's go ahead and fill this out with the folder, service, and service version. When I hit submit here, what it should happen is it would fire off the webhook into my applications on my desktop, and the application on my desktop would then be triggered and reach out to the GitHub Actions to fire up the CI/CD process. Let's take a look at our application. It should have that webhook being listening to and over here. Now the application is going to go and fire off the GitHub Actions that we can see over here on the GitHub Action page. We should see that request coming over here on the GitHub Actions and fired off a new process right here. This GitHub Actions contains the CI/CD APIs that's essentially going to kick off the CI/CD process. You're not limited to only using GitHub Actions. We're just using this for our example. It could be any CI/CD software of your choice. We can see here within GitHub itself is running various type of actions. So inside GitHub Actions, it's where you want to set up the entire CI/CD process. And there you have it. We have utilized a webhook from Coherent to kick off a CI/CD process. Now I hope this video helps, and see you next time.